John Kiely, he was talking about developing his squad yesterday, and if we look at some of the guys who got game time, Aaron Costello was good at cornerback, Kilmarnock man, and also
David Dempsey, David Reedy.
Yeah, I suppose they're not really new players.
No,
but he is developing them. And on came Darren OConnell, Brian Ryan from South Liberties. He's got a bit of game time recently, so he definitely is giving players a chance. Now, he spoke about it afterwards, and here's kind of a selection of what he said. We're looking at trying to blood some of these lads, like Darren OConnell, for example. You don't want to be throwing him in there at the start of a 70-minute game against Galway. You want him to come in and get his 15 or 20 minutes, get a couple of possessions and do a couple of nice things, go home with a bit of confidence and come back to training next week and work hard and hopefully put himself in the frame for a little bit longer down the road. Trying to do it and be considerate to the boys and not just throw them in at the deep end and hoping that they'll swim. We need to put them in situations where they can do well and build their confidence. So that's what we're trying to do there.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting approach. It makes an awful lot of sense. Say if you look at it on the flip side of it, Shane Cooley was probably thrown in the deep end somewhat at centre back, and that's a difficult situation coming in against the likes of Tom Morrissey and a very, very strong Limerick half-hour line, one of the best half-hour lines in the game. Whereas on the flip side of that, Kiely brings in Aaron Costello, Sean Finn and Richie English are beside him in the full back line, Dan Morrissey's out in front of him, and Declan Hannon. Do you know what I mean? And Nicky Quaid is behind him.
And Barry Nash has a decent bit of experience in there as well, and he's a big physical man.
And even like David Reedy, you have Tom Morrissey beside him, you have Graham Mulcahy inside him, and you have Will O'Donoghue outside him. Do you know what I mean? And the lads that we talked about bringing on, Darren OConnell, coming into a game of 15 or 20 minutes to go, is that when a defence is maybe flagging a small bit, is a much easier situation for him to come into making his kind of debut, rather than starting a corner forward, maybe getting a tough, maybe being pulled after 50 minutes and then maybe feeling under pressure the next day. So you can definitely understand his approach. He comes bouncing the train the next day. Do you know what I mean? He will be mad to get 20 minutes the next day and hopefully make a similar impact. And eventually, maybe towards the end of the league, he'll start a game and then they'll see how he goes. But they won't just throw him in straight away and see. They won't throw like mud at a wall and see what sticks. Yeah. They'll just gradually do it. Gradually just feel him out and see can he handle the situations that he comes up against.
You get the sense with John Kiely that when he gives these lads game time, he actually means it, and he's looking at this guy going in pretty soon, because the Munster Championship last year, I was wondering, is there a bit of shadow boxing when he's dropping, let's say, who did he drop? He dropped Dan Morrissey one day.
Keane Lynch was dropped another day.
Well, dropped according to you. But come on, let's be
He didn't play the last game.
But I don't think he's just like Darragh O'Donovan wasn't in the starting team last year. When he does this, he's doing it because he actually thinks these guys can step in and dislodge who was already there. If that works out, it's unbelievable, because not only will he have, and if they win in All-Ireland, not only have they the best 15, but they've got unbelievably quality guys who are proven going in behind them, and it just augurs so well for a few years down the line.
Without a doubt, yeah. I don't think, like when he puts a lad in, Aaron Costello, I don't think he's giving him a chance.
Yeah.
I think he trusts him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He puts David Reedy in and puts him on the freeze. He's not throwing him in and a like for like Aaron Gillan. He's giving him a lot more than a chance. He's basically trusting him with all that responsibility. He hit 3 from play yesterday and impressed. Like, whether he'd start in the Munster Championship or not is another story. But now he'll definitely have even more confidence to be coming on with 25 minutes to go, or coming on at half time if needs be, and deliver even more. David Dempsey as well, who's someone who maybe I thought would have been around there a bit more. Adrian Breen played a lot of the Munster Co-op League, and maybe he's carrying Knockert out because I don't see him amongst the 26. But when they're put in for a reason. It's not any token gesture or anything like that maybe you can see with some other teams. And he doesn't. I like what I like about him. He doesn't talk about it like that. We gave lads a chance or anything like that. It's never like that. It's never we just threw in a few lads. It's like, no, that's their starting 15. That's what we're going. I trust all these lads.
Paddy O'Loughlin hasn't really seen game time.
Played a lot with UCC.
That's true.
So he's kind of they're still obviously in the Fitzgibbon. So, and even on that, he's very understanding of that kind of club v college kind of thing as well.
Yeah, again, he had a quote on it. It's a bit of an extended quote, so I might give up halfway through it, but I'll start off. So when he was asked about the county versus college clash, he goes, "I don't want to be seen as somebody who has all the answers. I most certainly don't. And it's a challenge, and you just go with your gut and you tell lads at times, don't come down from Cork or Dublin or whatever it might be. it's all about communication and having honest conversations. If a lad is tired, I want him to tell me he's tired, you know. They have to report their loads to Mikey Kiely, who's S&C, so we can manage their loads and keep an eye on their loads. We do give lads breaks and tell them to stay away and to rest up, and where possible not to play. You can see by the selections as well, trying to stay away from the Fitzgibbon guys at the same time, giving them a little taste of it so they can keep their foot in the mix. So that's a taste of it.
Yeah, it's smart as
Common
well.
sense.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised it's not happening with all county managers.
And he finishes up saying, listen, their Fitzgibbon competition is a principal competition right now, so that takes precedence over us. That's the way I look at it. And like he did talk about the relationships that he'd have with Jamie Wall and Gary Kirby, who are over some of the college teams. And it sounds like they're trying to work with him, he's trying to work with them.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Just say from a journalist point of view, just say you have a story that has to be done for tomorrow and you have a story to be done for next week. It's like the Fitzgibbon. The Fitzgibbon is on now. They're only going to get one chance at it. He sees no more than, to be honest with you, I think John Kiely is, he will not say it, but I think he's totally mirroring himself on Brian Cooley. I genuinely do. The approach to Limerick, the approach to development, the approach to winning, the approach to players, and the approach to Fitzgibbon. He sees the merits of it, which Cody always did as well. He sees that lads are getting this great exposure. They're getting chance to obviously win a really like big competition, and it will only benefit them. Whereas they could see it as, oh, we'll flog these lads in training, and then go and play that match, or maybe we'll keep them here. Do you know what I mean? Like and it means you have happier players as well. I know it sounds very like, maybe it sounds a bit stupid, but happier players. They're not being flogged. They're getting to play out their college. They're still getting a look in with Limerick.
Don't come down from Dublin. Don't come down from Cork. Yeah,
it makes an awful lot of sense, and I just think that you have a happier squad out of that, and you have a fitter and fresher squad out of it as well. It makes an awful lot of sense.
Thanks for watching Our Game. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.